G'day guys, E53 here, and we're back with American Truck Simulator. So continuing the Road to Oregon series, where we're going to be driving to the new estate, which has been released for this particular sim, which is the Oregon DLC. So we've added on the Oregon, we've actually bought it, but of course in the game we were actually nowhere near Oregon, so how better way to get there than actually drive there and explore some of the newer features of the game as well as we go along. So this is Oregon up here. Our current location down here in Las Vegas. We went from our base in Phoenix to Vegas in the last episode, and in this one we're just going to be looking to either go through Nevada or California, take a job that's going to take us a little bit closer to Oregon so we can get over there and check all that out. So before we go any further as well, I've just recently got hold of the Special Cargoes DLC as well, so hopefully we're going to see a few jobs available. Just check this email here. Special Transports. Hello boss, I have something special for you. Thanks to our connections, we're now able to get a real challenge. Some special, extra large and heavy cargoes need to be hauled by a true professional. We're in trouble. It won't be easy. It'll require some skills, patience, cooperation with escorting vehicles and extra care, but I guess you have it all right. Also, bigger risk comes with bigger profit. And there are some cities that these jobs come out of, apparently. So we've got a few listed there. Is Vegas on there? Because Vegas is where we are at the moment. Vegas does not appear to be on that list, so that's okay. We'll looks like we'll just take a normal job through. Just taking a bit of a look as well. I have actually got, and this is one of the cool things about this sim as well, is you can actually buy other trucks and hire other drivers to drive them. So just want to have a quick look here at the truck manager, see how the rest of the fleet's performing. And I've got Leon R here, and he's only driving a little 237 horsepower Mack, which is a mod in itself. It's an older truck. There it is. So you can see it's one of those old model Macks. That's the truck that I started off in, and then I passed it on to this guy once I bought the newer Kenworth. So at some stage we're going to want to upgrade him so he can start taking some more expensive jobs. At the moment he hasn't got that high rating either. Got him training on some just-in-time deliveries. He's only got 2 points on that. What I might actually do is put his training across to hazardous cargo, because they are the higher value jobs, and he'll focus on building up his rating for that. So anyway, we'll get into the truck ourselves. We'll see what's available in the job market, what jobs are going out of Vegas. Quick look here. Now we want to go into Nevada ideally, because that's going to be the quickest way for us to get through to Oregon. It looks like we haven't got any jobs going to Nevada either, so we might need to take one into California, which is a little bit more of a roundabout way. We've got cars, sort of takes us a bit sideways. Is there anything else that's going to take us further up? That doesn't help us. LA, others are back in Arizona, Fresno, San Diego. So it's almost as though Fresno is the best bet. It'll just sort of take us across a bit sideways, and then we'll try and get a job that's going to take us sort of a little bit further up. But that's okay. We'll jump onto that. We'll take this job. And here we are in the rest stop, so we'll get ourselves all set up and started. Well, looks like it's taken a little bit to load. That's a bit unusual. It's usually a lot faster than that. I don't usually see times when it does that. But anyway, start her up. Oh yeah, won't do much good taking off with the handbrake on, will it? Okay, so here we are at Walbert, definitely not Walmart, it's Walbert apparently, and we'll just see what jobs are there. We did obviously set our GPS for a certain job, and yeah, so that's the only one that's going to take us in the direction we want to go in. That one's going to take us back to Arizona, so we'll grab this one that's going across to Fresno. head towards the green flag on your map. I love how they do these big, big depots, loading depots and stuff like that, rather than just have the trailer sitting there in the car park for you or something. It just adds a lot of, I guess, a lot of immersion to the game. Should I be calling it a game or should I be saying sim? Anyway, who cares? Alright, so we'll back her up. Nearly there. Come on. It's got to be close. There we go. Just need a bit of encouragement. Handle there winding up the stilts and we should be completely connected. So let's go. Normally I'm sure there'd be some paperwork to fill out picking these things up, but I'm so glad they don't simulate that. Do enough paperwork filling out in real life, don't we? It's the driving that we're here for. It's the Vegas skyline out there in the distance. There's no one else coming. It is a one-way street, which makes it a little bit easier to pull out into, and there appears to be no traffic around whatsoever either. One thing that driving this game, especially around the more suburban streets, is just how difficult it is to manoeuvre such a big vehicle around streets like this that aren't really designed for them, to be honest. Freeways are okay, but the suburban streets are a nightmare. You really need two lanes and to get around some corners, and if the traffic doesn't want to play ball with you, it can make your life very, very difficult, and I imagine that it's very similar in real life for the guys who do this every day. In fact, if you are a truckie and you're watching this, maybe leave in the comments your best just idiot piece of traffic story. Just your biggest idiot car driver or experience that you had that you ever came across. I've got a couple of mates who are in the trucking business and they tell some stories. It just boggles the mind how stupid some people can be and how they just don't make allowances for the braking capabilities and things like that of big trucks, and don't look and don't see them, and etc, etc. So maybe just maybe if you've got a funny story, just leave it in the comments. Always like a good funny story. Alright, so just heading out of Vegas. Restricted to 30 miles an hour here. I always kind of try to hit the cruise when I'm driving on streets like this. I just tend to keep my foot down, and before long I'm getting done speeding. Okay, so it looks like this guy's going to take advantage of the law that says you can turn right on a red light and pull straight around in front of us. Didn't hold us up too much. It is a game about patience, this as well. You just can't do anything too quickly. trucks do not do things quickly. And as a guy who spends most of his time doing sim racing, a little bit of real life racing as well, it's quite odd not to have your foot all the way to the floor. Alright, so leaving Vegas. Turn left here onto the freeway. Is that what they call them in the States? Freeways? Highways? Is there a difference? Don't know. Here, make sure that we don't crash into anybody. It looks like our lane's free. And off we go. I haven't seen a police car already. Actually had an encounter with the local police yesterday. I was down at the beach for New Year's Day. I'm recording this on January 2nd. Down on the beach for New Year's Day, and of course everyone's having a good time down there. Come up off the beach, first thing that happens, motorbike cop pulls me over, breathalyse. Had no problems though, well under. I've been quite sensible. Unusual for me, I know, but I've actually, he was waiting in a side street and I've got to turn down past him, like turned onto the side street that he was waiting on. Because that was the most direct route to my house more than anything else, and he's just yelled through the window, pull over, and I just had to pull straight over, and he's got the breatho out and all the rest of it. But yeah, you can understand why they're doing it New Year's Day, everyone on the beach. I imagine they probably would have caught a few, judging by some of the things I saw yesterday, but yeah, good day had by everyone. Now the speed limit here, according to this, is 80 miles an hour. Of course, we're restricted to 65 because we've got the speed limiter on the truck. But why aren't the guys around me doing 80? Why are all the cars going so slow? The guy next to me sped up a bit. They all seem to be doing 65. I don't know, if I was allowed to do 80 miles an hour, I'd be doing it. Especially in a car. Look, he's just sitting next to us. Ah, well, we'll just keep rolling along. Catching up to this guy in front of us now. Can't stand being held up. So we've got a weigh station coming up here. Hopefully we don't get caught in. No, looks like we're free to go. Oh, and he's out of our way now too, perfect. He's decided to put his foot down as well. Good to see the drivers in the sim are just as unpredictable and illogical as they are in real life. Okay, looks like our lane's ending. We're definitely out into the desert. Try to look around a bit, some of the stuff they've got here, but every time I do I tend to run out of my lane. So I don't know how you see some of the guys, the other guys who do videos for this sim, you know, they're out of the truck and they're looking around and everything. I can't do it. I run out of my lane or into the grass or something like that. So yeah, anyway, might just leave all that fancy stuff to them and I'll just try and hold it in a straight line. speed limit down to 50. So we're coming into, oh, we're down to 30 now. It's like we're coming into a small town. Doesn't even appear to really be on the map. So where are we? Beatty. Nice small town. I love the way they do these small towns. Look at them. All the faded signs and the old cars and the old houses, and definitely not a Napa billboard. PS truck. Little diners, cafes. I love the way they do these. This is probably one of the things I like most about this particular sim as opposed to Euro Truck Simulator, which is done by SCS as well. Is just the way they do these little country towns, because you don't really get those in Euro. It's all the sort of the big European cities that you go between, but in this, not so, and it's great. And we're heading towards Death Valley. Little church there as well. It's great. I love all that detail. And we're now leaving Beatty. So here, a little attraction of some description, look. Got the guys there taking photos. Death Valley. Those are the kind of details that, yeah, like, I don't know, I keep saying it, but really do like. Another little tourist stop there by the looks. Somebody flogging hot dogs out of a van. That's what you want. Buy processed meat out the back of a van in the middle of the desert. What could possibly go wrong? We're actually speeding. It's 55 miles an hour here. Gonna have to watch that speed. Every time we go downhill it wants to take off. I'll have to get myself a Volvo now that Volvo's in the game. Once I've ready to pass this truck on to one of my underlings and get a new one, I might try out one of the Volvos. Good to see a new manufacturing. For ages this one only had Peterbilt and Kenworth, which, given the amount of truck brands in America, I thought was quite surprising, because you know you got Caterpillar and Mack and Western Star, so many, and they only had the two, whereas in Euro Truck Simulator they got about 5 or 6 different brands: Mercedes-Benz, Renault, everything else. So it's good to see them get another brand in. Hopefully they manage to get a couple of others in. I believe I've got a Western Star modded truck somewhere, but I went and got the mod and now I can't afford the truck, so I've got to wait. town here? It's barely a town, is it? Worksite up here. Hope you guys like the heat. Looks like we've got a fairly windy road ahead of us. Just have to take it nice and cautious. Kind of glad I'm not pulling a massive special cargo, although I will be trying that out. As soon as I get the opportunity to try it out, I will be. Remember there was a road like this on Euro Truck Simulator. I was driving around in Greenland and it was all just roads like this, but obviously, you know, snow and ice everywhere. But there wasn't a single highway on the whole of Greenland. It's all roads like this. And when the roads are constantly like this, it can get fairly challenging not to make any mistakes. Because you just get impatient. Well, I do. I'm not renowned for my patience at the best of times. Oh, I thought I was finally out of that windy section. It doesn't look like I am. Looks like it's still going. Got, I think someone had been pulled over by the police there on the side of the road, look. Seriously, how fast was he going in a Dodge wagon? Another little tourist stop there on the side. Okay, looks like we're going to turn off here. We're heading toward, it looks like the police have stopped someone else, a Lancher over there with a truckie. Oh, looks like his pallets are falling off. And look at that, I'm not sure if you can catch that, just going across the sky there. Fighter jets. Looks like there's a big gathering of something over here. Work site maybe. But yeah, every now and again when you're out in the desert, especially if you're near Tonopah, places like that, you get a lot of fighter jets because there are a couple of military bases out there. I think the Tonopah base was used fairly extensively for the development of the F-117, the Stealth. Here we are in a Lancer anyway. Quick look around if we can before we get to the stop sign. Yeah, there goes another jet. All over the place. Wish you could hear them. But chopper as well. There's all sorts going on. Must be a military base close by. Alright, first sign of Fresno. Nothing coming. It's like a very neglected billboard or something on the top of the hill. Still got those fighter jets buzzing around. And here I am with no surface-to-air missiles. Alright, so we're still a couple of hours out of Fresno, but it's a couple of game hours, so they are going to pass faster than real life hours, thankfully. Oh, look at that over there. It's like a old airport of some description. That looks like a DC-10? A couple of DC-3s maybe? Oh, and a few biplanes as well, check that out. Got people behind me, can't sit there and look at that all day. In fact, I think what I've actually got behind me is the police. So I won't just sit there checking out classic aircraft all day, as much as I'd like to. Something else up here on the side of the road, is it? I just like some road works. How can you tell that it's in a sim and not real life? It's easy, those workmen were actually doing something. Hate that, you cruise past roadworks, you gotta slow all the way down, you're cruising along, and there's like one fella digging and 12 other guys standing around watching that one fella digging. But in the sim, they're all doing something. Wouldn't that be something? Roadwork simulator. Hey, they made Farming Simulator. I'm sure somewhere out there's Construction Simulator as well. I've seen that. So there's got to be Roadwork Simulator, doesn't there? You could get South Australian Roadwork Simulator where everyone's just drinking iced coffee. That's all you do. And to everyone sort of interstate or overseas, that's not going to make a lot of sense. But in South Australia, that's what we do. Smash the iced coffees. So 1 hour out from Fresno now. So this is taking us a little bit closer to our end goal of Oregon. Couldn't get anything to get us much closer. It's sort of a sideways trip, but it gets us a bit closer. And of course, depending on the jobs I'm able to take, I really have no idea on how many parts this series is going to be, how many trips it's going to take us to get there. And then of course we've got to have a look around. It'd be cool to be able to get some Grand Theft Auto style talkback radio in there. So I know you can put on the internet radio stations and listen to those, but because I'm not allowed to show any music that I haven't paid for on a YouTube video, then I can't use it. I can't have the radio on. But it'd be nice if the game included something like that, especially like those GTA talkback radio shows are hilarious. Something like that would be good. Maybe there's a mod you can get for that. Just a little servo there. And rolling on into Fresno. Here we are. This actually looks like just up here on the right there's a garage you can buy. Well, down to 30 miles an hour. There we are, city limit Fresno. Oh, red light. I was too busy looking around at all the pretty scenery. Didn't even see it. So there's something else down there? No. So there we are, there's a garage there that the player can buy. If you need another base, because you start to grow as a business, you gotta go out and buy another garage so you can store some more trucks, hire some more drivers, make some more money. So it looks as in this journey's coming to an end. The sun's just starting to go down. It's now sort of 5:37, 5:38 local time here. Sun's just starting to get low in the sky, shadows are just starting to get long. Slot in behind that guy. There we go. Guess he must have stoplights ahead, although I can't see him. Yeah. Oh, should I squeeze by this guy? Yeah. Of course I can turn right on a red light, so long as I'm not about to get impaled by somebody, which I would have done if I'd gone without looking. We've got something coming up here on the right, looks like a recruitment agency, which, okay, we've discovered that now, so now we can hire people from there if we need to. There's actually quite a lot here in Fresno, isn't there? Doesn't look like a massive city, but it's sort of a medium-sized place. I mean, I've heard of it, I've heard of Fresno, so I'm guessing it's not a tiny country town. It certainly isn't. Our destination just here on the right. Sell goods. Alright, and yeah, as we had last time, there's various options about where we can put the trailer. There's one way you have to reverse it in, or a nice easy one. I generally take the easy one. I don't play this game to improve my trailer reversing skills. I just find it annoying more than anything else, so I'll just park it over here. Okay, there we are. What's happened to my mirror there? There we go. Alright, so here we are, we made it. So we'll just unhook the trailer. And that's it. Slowly moving up there towards level 10. Of course, as you level up, various other upgrades sort of become available to you. So, alright, no problems. Now, I believe that I'm actually requiring a rest pretty soon. Yes, I am. So I'll probably just drive off to that next rest stop, and I'll leave you guys there, and I'll see you again next time, as always, to get further notifications when this next episode of this series goes up, or any other videos for that matter. Please subscribe there, leave a like, leave a comment if there's anything that you want to ask about this sim or this mod, this truck mod, anything like that, and I'll respond as quick as I can. So thanks very much for joining us, and I'll see you next time.